This is the LifeSmart 5-person hot tub, and right off the bat you can see it has a really modern sand-colored look. The shape is kind of a spacious rectangle, and when you set this up in your backyard or patio, it immediately looks like it belongs there. Simple, but sturdy, with a nice finish. I'll get straight to my experience because that's what I would want to hear if I was looking for a quick review. Before I got this, I actually hesitated a bit. I wasn't sure about all the technical stuff. Voltage, how big it would actually be, would it be complicated to set up or run? But honestly, setup turned out to be way easier than I expected. The LifeSmart hot tub is what's called a plug-and-play spa. That means, for most people, you can plug it into a standard 110-volt outlet, regular home electricity. That's super convenient. You need a dedicated outlet so it doesn't share with other big appliances. But for me, installing that wasn't a problem. There's also the option to have it hardwired for 220s if you want it to run a bit more efficiently. And that's something some folks do for more power. But from my experience, the standard plug has worked great. This hot tub is big enough for 5 people, according to the specs, with a 72-inch length, 81-inch width, and 34 inches tall. So, it's not some small corner unit. It actually has real room. In my personal use, it's been cozy with 4 adults and still feels comfortable. There are 4 well-shaped seats with a bit of contouring, plus a spot that feels like the captain's chair. There's even an indent in the middle for feet, so you aren't all fighting for foot space under the water. When I sit in it, and I'm about 6'3", I can get my shoulders under pretty easily. For people who haven't spent much time in a home hot tub, these details actually make a difference. It doesn't feel cramped, and that adds to the relaxation. When it comes to the key features, I was most interested in the jets and the overall spa experience. There are 28 jets in total, and each seat gets a fair share, which is really nice if you're sharing this with friends or family. The jets are adjustable, so you can dial up the pressure or turn them off, depending on what you want. Now, I'll be honest. If you're expecting a super powerful, deep tissue massage from the jets, you might be a little disappointed. In my opinion, they're best described as soothing, not intense. You get a gentle massage, definitely enough to relax your back and shoulders, but probably not what you'd get from a full-blown hydrotherapy tub at a spa. The LED lights add a really cool touch at night, especially if you want a bit of ambiance. They cycle through different colors, or you can set them to a single color if you prefer. The waterfall feature is another plus. It's more than just a visual. The sound of the water actually adds to the whole relaxing experience. I found myself using it almost every time, just because it feels a little more like being at a real spa. One thing that frustrated me a little bit at first was the lack of a dedicated cup holder. There's a ledge where you might think you could set a drink, but it's not really secure. I ended up getting a separate little spa table, and that fixed the problem. It's a small detail, but if you like having your water bottle or a drink close by, you'll want to think about that. When it comes to heat, the tub is really well insulated. You can set the temperature up to 104 degrees, and with the cover on, it holds that heat solidly. The first time heating it up takes a while, especially in colder weather. It's not instant gratification, but once it's at temperature, it's pretty easy to maintain, as long as you remember to put the cover back on. That cover is lightweight, so even one person can take it off or put it back on easily. I will say though, the cover quality seems just okay. I'm not sure how many seasons it will survive before needing a replacement, but for now, it does the job well enough. Another thing to talk about is the energy use. One of my hesitations before buying was worrying if my power bill would skyrocket. From my experience, it's actually not bad at all. Definitely less than running central heat in a house during the winter. The full foam insulation really helps trap heat, and the thermal cover locks it all in. There's also an ozonator included, which is a system that helps clean the water and reduce the amount of chemicals you need. For people new to hot tubs, that means less hassle with cleaning and less spending on chemicals each month. As far as draining and maintenance, there's a drain down at the bottom, which is easy to access if you put your hot tub in a spot where it's not blocked in. I put mine on foam pads, which I definitely recommend if you're setting it directly on concrete or a deck. It reduces any vibration and just makes it feel more solid. Cleaning the filter is straightforward. You just lift it out and spray it down every week or 2. In my opinion, the overall upkeep for this tub isn't a big deal, especially compared to a traditional in-ground spa. If you're looking for comfort, looks, and convenience in one package, this hot tub is a sweet spot. I'd recommend this for families, couples, or anyone who wants to enjoy relaxing outside, especially when you don't want the massive expense or constant hassle of a built-in spa. It's perfect for unwinding after work, small gatherings, or even just warming up on a chilly evening. I was a little worried that the comfort of the seats would be lacking, but after a handful of uses, I honestly don't think about it anymore. The surface inside feels a bit rough the first time you use it. That caught me off guard, but you get used to it, and it hasn't been painful or anything. Just something to know, especially if you have sensitive skin. Another thing I noticed, when you've got 4 adults in there, the water level can get pretty high, so you'll occasionally need to top it off as some water gets splashed out. Also, the water level is important for getting the most out of the jets, since they work best when they're fully submerged. From my experience, this tub really hits the right balance of size, affordability, and features. You can pay way more for a custom built-in or high-end spa, but unless you absolutely require ultra-deep jets or luxury options, I think this one does the trick for most homes. It's not too expensive to run, easy to set up, and easy to maintain. In conclusion, the LifeSmart 5-person hot tub gave me much more value than I expected. Setup was simple, running costs are not a shock, and it really does make your evenings or weekends feel special. The lights, the waterfall, the seating design, and just having a simple space to relax outside, it's been awesome for me. I'd say if you're on the fence, don't overthink it. I'm glad I went for it, and I'd recommend this to anyone who wants to enjoy a spa at home with minimum fuss and maximum fun. If you have any questions or want more specifics, please check the comment section for detailed information about the LifeSmart 5-person hot tub. Thank you for watching.